Good morning po. Si Congressman Paulo Duterte po ay nag-file ng bill para po sa mandatory random drug testing every 6 months for all elected and appointed government officials. Tapos meron din pong provision doon for voluntary drug testing for everyone running in elections. Ano pong masasabi niyo doon? Maybe we can start with Migz as Vice Chair po of the Civil Service and Professional Regulation Committee.
Parang wala akong choice. Ako talagang inuna mo, Tina, ha?
Yes po, ma'am.
Well, with any legislator naman, they're welcome to file bills, right, that they deem fit. But as a legislator, I hope lahat naman tayo, as legislators kami dito, alam naman namin yung mga rules na we file, not just to file, but the intent is good, and I hope the intent for this is good. There is a Supreme Court case already that deemed unconstitutional a mandatory mandatory drug testing if it's going to be deemed included as one of the qualifications for a candidate, kasi yung Constitution naman naglalagay nun. But sana po, no, madepensahan niya to, and maganda po yung intent niya, and to defend this, you have to be able to attend the committee hearing and not pass it on to someone else. So, if this is his bill, we respect it. It will go through the process. Sana lang na mapakita niya bakit niya ginagawa to, and na it's not for any vindication of anything. It's not to single out someone, because that will be unconstitutional. And sana this applies also sa local government units, because as our friends in media know, even in Davao City, meron mga 37, I think, that tested positive sa drug test, random drug test sa isang department. So, sana this applies to all, hindi lang mag-single out.
Ma'am, sorry po. Idagdag ko lang po na specified kasi doon sa bill na including the President.
So, I hope including din lahat ng mga local government at lahat. Again, kung gusto niya ganito yung bill, he has every prerogative to write a bill, pass a bill, file a bill, and go through the committee. And if he deems that fit, na tama yung wordings at madedepensa niya yun, sana lang po madepensa niya yun in the committee, in the floor, in front of everyone, and not pass it on to another congressman dahil bill niya po to. So, you know, we will follow the process. We respect his knowledge and his intent on this. Sana lang the intent is good para sa kabutihan ng taong bayan, because we are legislators to file bills for the betterment of the Filipino people, at hindi para mang-asar or mang-single out or use your position to do things na may personal aspect po. So, yun. Sana po, madepensa niya at magpakita po siya dito sa Kongreso. Yun lang po.
To quickly just add on, I guess tayo naman dito, no, our friends in the media and us also working in politics are aware of the noises around. And to specifically, just to answer also directly what Tina said, to include specifically a position might also infer that there might be, you know, as much as I hate to say it, sana naman walang personal agenda, no, yung mga fina-file natin ng mga bills. In fact, what we do here in the House is we always look at the Filipino people. No? If the intent is for the Filipino people, we welcome them to file any kind of bill. And of course, it will go through the processes of, you know, committee hearings, public hearings, and we will go through the process so that we can also make the best version out of the bills that are being filed. Pero yun nga, we hope na lang to see that there should be less amounts of personal agendas in the filing of bills, and more towards the vision of a better country, a better place for the Filipino people, and also, you know, just to protect then everyone. No, so again, we would call on the wisdom of, we've had already, as what Congresswoman Migz mentioned, there was also a Supreme Court case na rin, and it was also deemed unconstitutional. There were bills filed previously in the previous Congresses also targeting, or at least, including local government officials that didn't really go through because of the Supreme Court case. So again, we would leave this to the wisdom of all the agencies, players involved, but we can get also at least a clearer picture on how this should go. So ayun na.
I guess na sabi naman po lahat, but just a quick comment on my part. On its face, mukhang maganda naman po yung batas. We haven't had the time yet to read specifically kung ano po yung nandun. But I think that's the challenge po talaga sa mga nag-aaral po ng batas. Alam po natin na yun nga, nabanggit ni Congresswoman Nograles na meron pong Supreme Court case already that tackled this, and actually it was deemed unconstitutional to include drug test as a mandatory step or as qualification of candidates. So we would be very much interested po siguro to see ano pa talaga yung laman ng batas na ito. In what words was it couched? Would it be able to pass that constitutional barrier from previous iterations? And I think yun po yung talagang mahirap po dito. Madali lang po mag-file ng panukalang batas, madali maglagay ng magandang explanatory note na clickbait or catchy. Pero it really comes down to the quality of the legislation. And I think we're excited, hopefully, to see our esteemed colleague na mag-attend po sa hearings and defend this bill. And we'd like to see his opinions po kung paano po ito magpapasa sa committee. And we're excited to tackle it naman po. Yun na po.
Again, lilinawin namin, para sa amin dito, maganda yung intensyon ni Congressman Paulo Duterte. Having said that, mas excited po kami na makasama siya sa committee hearings. Pag pinatawag na to ng tamang komite, excited po kaming makasama siya. Maging malinaw po tayo doon. Maraming salamat po.
Bibian Gulia from Channel 2.
Yes, good morning. Follow-up lang po. What can you say about the timing of the filing nitong panukalang batas na ito after nang mag-resign from the Marcos Jr. Cabinet yung kapatid ni Representative Duterte? And what about, curious lang din ako kung saan kayo nanggagaling when you were parang asserting na dapat ay para mag-attend to defend the bill, yung author nitong panukalang batas. And meron po bang rights na ma-violate kung mapapasa po itong panukalang batas na ito?
Well, wag natin pangunahan kung anong rights ma-violate because the committee still has to hear on this, no? Sa amin lang, on the timing, it's within his right to file, anyone's right to file with regardless of what had happened externally. Kasi every congressman, as part of their job, is really supposed to be filing bills that they think would be good for their constituents or the country. So, wag natin lagyan po siguro ng connection ang mga bagay-bagay. That's an unfair insinuation. And let's listen to the committee in any committee hearing for any congressman. If you are the author of a bill, you really do have to show up and defend your bill and explain why you want that bill to pass to the committee, for the committee members to pass it, and then later on in plenary for the majority, at least majority of the House members to support your bill. So, kailangan talagang pumasok, pumunta doon at idepensa ang bill to the best way that a legislator can. Siguro yun lang po.
Siguro in addition, and it's not saying much in addition po siguro. Tama po yung sabi ni Cong Nograles, we feel po siguro that it is not, I personally, for this representation, hindi po siguro lugar namin na mag-speculate, just to make it clear on its face, yung pagbabasa namin. Very briefly though, pero based on our reading, my reading of the explanatory note and the bill itself, I wouldn't want to speculate as to the timing or if there are any other intentions. Kasi klaro naman, wala namang nabanggit doon other than for the exigency of the service. But with that said po, siguro, as mentioned, yung pag-attend po, the second part of the question po, ma'am, sorry, can we, ano po yung... Regarding the rights to violate, siguro po, we won't be able to say right away kung ano po talaga ito. We'd like to really thresh this out in the committee, pero what stands for us, at least sa amin po with the background yung sa batas, what really comes to mind when you talk about drug tests and candidates is it was struck down as unconstitutional sa Supreme Court. As much as the intention may be good and as much as we would like to have this kind of measure to ensure that our public servants are of tip-top shape and of sound mind, ang maintain po talaga ng Supreme Court ay bawal po ito. So, yun nga po, that's why we really are looking forward to seeing him defend it. Ano po kaya yung wording nito? If it would be able to pass whatever constitutional test was imposed by the Supreme Court, these are the things that we want to see. We don't want to look into the timing or intention or speculate when there is nothing there. But we'd like to see, let's walk the talk and work out the legislation po itself. Yun lang po.
Are there any additional related questions before we move to next topic? Related? Okay. Red Mendoza from Manila Times.
Good morning po. Of course, this is related, yun nga, yung file na, yung bill na final nga ni Congressman Duterte nga, is related nga doon sa sinasabing pasabog daw nung sinasabing former lover ni Congressman Torrendo, si Cathy Binag, na sinasabi nga na nagda-drugs nga raw yung si BBM. And dinamay na rin pati yung anak, yung first family na rin. So, I mean, of course, when you say the timing is not suspect, pero it's still suspect pa rin. But what is your take on this?
You know, I think we answered this already, diba? Kung sino nagsalita, whoever talks, tingnan nyo muna kung credible ang nagsasalita. Look at the background. If credible ang mga sinasabi ng isang tao. But also, your questions are unfair to say ang timing. Kung totoong magaling kang legislator, alam mo yung trabaho mo, you will not file a bill and waste the resources of Congress and time to go after one person for personal reasons. Huwag ka na lang siguro mag-congressman kung yan lang po yung gagawin nyo. Kasi hindi yan ang trabaho ng isang congressman. So, with the timing and all, we cannot speak for him why he filed that. And I'm sure the good congressman has good intentions for that, regardless of the timing. Sana lang po, no? Tingnan natin sa committee, tingnan natin how he will defend it, and make sure this is not going to be unconstitutional, and this applies to everyone. All officials, all candidates, all local government, lahat. Hindi lang isang tao. Kasi kung isang tao lang naman yung gusto mo, you don't need to file a bill, siguro. Don't waste the resources of Congress and our time. I hope that answers your question.
Just to add quickly lang, we get the line of questioning, and professionally speaking, in the standpoint of a legislator, we are trained to look at the best interests of the Filipino people, regardless of what's happening to us, what's happening to the world. Our interest is in the Filipino people and the Philippines in general. So, to preface a question with the timing of it all, I agree with Congresswoman Nograles when she says that first look at the source. Credible ba? There were many debunked, it was really debunked. The issue was already debunked way back. So, sa atin naman, to try to prod that even further might incite or might also bring about unnecessary comments that may distract us already from the job that we're trying to do. So, sa atin naman, again, as a legislator, all of us are trained to look at the interests of the Filipino people, regardless of timing. So, I just wanted to make that clear. Kasi kami, ginagawa lang namin yung trabaho namin. We are being paid by the government's money, which means that also our mandate, our direction has to be also for the good of the Filipino people, the taxpayers' money. Diba? So, we hope na lang that while this is a hot topic for the media, we hope that the words that we share regarding this topic are also hold water. And, you know, kasi once napapatulan natin to, dadami din yan eh. Di ba? So, ayun lang, iwas lang tayo sa ganun na mga klase. And let's focus on what is important. Thank you.
Okay, Red.
Siguro in addition lang po.
Sige, sir, go ahead, sir. Sorry.
In agreement po siguro what they mentioned. Thank you again, Sir Red, for the non-controversial question. But siguro po, I think if I'm understanding the question correctly, I think it would be unfair to insinuate any other intention sa timing po ni Congressman Polong. As I mentioned, on the face of the bill, on the explanatory note, wala naman pong siyang masamang nasabi. And for all you know, the timing might be related to the finding of 37 positive drug cases in the City Hall of Davao. To recall, this happened sometime in May 2024, recess po yan, and we recently just resumed Congress. So baka yun po yung timing na sinasabi. Maybe he sees a drug problem in Davao that has to be remedied and he wants to replicate it nationwide. So I don't know if it would be correct, and I don't think it would be fair to intimate or to suggest na the timing is related to yung vlogger pasabog, as you mentioned po. But with that said, yun lang po siguro yung masasabi ko doon. Thank you.
Thank you. Elson Gismoria from Manila Bulletin.
Hello po, just to clarify something. Anyway, good morning. Kong Pami said excited po siya na makita si Cong.Polong to participate. What does this mean? Hindi niyo po ba siya nakikita na umattend sa mga hearing? And even kung nagsalita siya o hindi, have you seen him around dito sa house, dito sa plenary, during sessions? Just curious po. Sa lahat po, sa lahat.
Sa lahat ba? Hindi, excited talaga ako kasi siguro hindi ko siya nakakasabay lang sa mga hearing. Posibleng iba yung mga committee na kinabibilangan ko at kinabibilangan niya. Kaya excited naman po ako na pag tinalakay itong bill na to ay makasama naman siya.
Ako, siguro babalik ko yung tanong sa inyo. Nakita niyo na ba? Tumatawa kayo, tinatanong ko.
Sa live stream lang po kasi yung No, I'm just kidding. But have you seen him around? Just your personal, ano po? If you've seen him, around lately.
Personally, I haven't seen him here nor in Davao. So, kayo tatanungin ko, nakita niyo na ba? Kayo, yun na. Pati sa Davao, hindi ko nakikita. Gusto ko nga sana eh.
Okay. How about in plenary po? Plenary. If you look around po sa plenary, have you seen him there?
Okay, our seats are relatively close. I've seen him once, a few months ago.
Like last year?
A few months ago. I've seen him once. Tapos I shook hands with him na rin. A few months ago. Once.
Di ba nagdadate tayo sa Davao? Nagdadate tayo. Kita ba natin?
Off record yun. Hindi, pero like ako, I'm from Davao Oriental and I have to pass through Davao din on the way home. Ako, I cannot really say, pero yung mga tao doon naman sa Davao Airport, nakakausap ko naman rin doon. And usually, they see me more. You know, they see Congresswoman Migz a lot, they see me a lot, but I cannot speak for the rest, no? Pero yun nga, just to stick to your question, I've seen him once and shook hands with him once, a couple of months ago.
I need to know, sir, kung this year ba o last year? Wala ko.
It's so long ago, hindi ko na naalala eh. Pero yeah,
Sona po, Sona. Okay.
Someone else sat in his chair nung Sona. Former congressman yung nakaupo doon kasi wala, vacant yung seat na nung Sona eh.
So naging seat for a guest yung
for a former congressman.
Sige po, thank you.
Thank you. Another related question.
Sorry, hindi niyo pa rin sinagot yung tanong ko. Kayo ba? Nakita nyo ba?
Sagutin nyo na, kayo talaga.
Yun lang po. Para pantay tayo dito, di ba? Yun lang. Nakita nyo naman. At least kayo nakikita nyo. Okay. Ayun. At least malinaw, di ba?
Thank you. Another related question from Rosalie Casop from UNTV.
Alright po, tanong ko lang po regarding dun sa inihaing panukalang batas, lalo na po at na-mention nyo na maganda naman po yung layunin. So, will you support the bill?
As the question to supporting, really, if the intent is to try to qualify an official as somebody who is not a user, then I would personally think na that's good, di ba? Kasi naman, you'd want also your leaders to be, of sound mind and of sound body, di ba? Common sense. Pero again, the Supreme Court has also ruled otherwise in terms of, the viability of this law to be passed. So, yung sa amin naman, we have to balance it, That's why the committees are there. No, we have to look at the wisdom of other people kasi our opinions are just our opinions. We want to see the clearer picture. So sa amin naman, I don't want to put the cart before the horse. Pero kung sabi through the committee meetings, kung sabi nila na maganda tong batas, then we would also support it, yeah. Pero sa akin naman, personal opinion, it's good to know if your leaders are of sound mind and of sound body. So,
Personally, after looking into it sa committee, if really there are grounds na hindi siya magiging unconstitutional, it is equally applied to everyone, especially also the LGUs. Babalik ko nga, kasi alarming nga yung nangyari sa Davao that even part ng City Hall, 37 tested positive. So dapat may ganun din for not just Davao, all other local governments, all officials involved, government. Kasi the Filipinos deserve nga leaders, especially those working in the government, who are not doing illegal drugs, right? So I will support it after the committee hearing, and if it will really be fair and hindi siya mukhang magiging unconstitutional. Because it is a good thing to make sure that our officials know how to lead properly of sound mind.
Sobrang susuportahan ko pa. Gusto niya co-author pa ako. I mean, wala namang masama sa gusto ni Congressman Duterte. Ang problema nga lang, ma'am, as I've said, within the past 2 questions, kailangan lang sa sarili niya ay maipagtanggol niya yung panukalang batas na ito at kung bakit niya ito gusto. Kasi bago pa po kami makasuporta, kailangan dumaan muna sa komite. Ang problema po, hindi po ako miyembro nung tamang komite na yan. Ngayon, pag makarating po yan sa floor, susuporta po talaga kami. Wala naman pong masama na i-drug test ang lahat ng elected officials.
Yeah, I think we're in todo yung supporta ni Kong Pami. For this representation po, just that issue lang po on the constitutional barrier that we've already had in previous bills. But should we see in the committee that it passes that, I see nothing wrong with the bill and we will definitely support it. In fact, perhaps we could even explore expanding it, not just to public officials, maybe to certain all of government, maybe vloggers, para clear na rin yung sinasabi nila that they're also of sound mind and sound body. Lahat na. For as long as there will be a germane, valid classification in line with equal protection of the laws, as long as it would be allowed, I think we would support that.
Okay, if there are no additional questions regarding the bill filed by Cong.Polong, we will move to next topic.